We have Gabriel Osler down there in Bismarck. Gabe, what's going on down there in Bismarck?
Well, Adam, I'm at the Broadway Grill and Tavern on Broadway in downtown Bismarck, and this is where Julie Fedorchak is going to be holding her election party. I've been speaking with the staff. As you can tell, it's pretty empty here right now. They said that they expect people to start showing up at about 6. As we know, the polls close around that time, so it makes sense that that would be the time that everyone would wait to start for the results to come in. But definitely an interesting atmosphere around the whole Fedorchak campaign today. You might have caught it earlier at around 2:45. They had to hold a live press conference because of these allegations of election tampering, where somebody sent out a whole bevy of text messages this morning saying Fedorchak was dropping out of the race, and then additionally urging people to vote for Rick Becker, her opponent in this race. Now, if that came from Becker or not, we don't know for sure. We have reached out to their campaign for comment, but definitely a very strange happening where it seemed like they were trying to convince people not to vote for her through this bit of subterfuge today. She does seemingly have an early lead in the polls. As we know, she has that coveted Trump endorsement that seems to make a lot of difference in these kinds of regional races. But it is a little bit closer than what we've been looking at for the gubernatorial race, where it seems like Kelly Armstrong has a strong lead over Tammy Miller. So it's going to be interesting to see how the night plays out. As I said, I'm going to be here during our 6 o'clock broadcast, 6 and 6:30, as people start to trickle in and we start to get a little bit more of a feel of the crowd and how everybody's feeling about how those results are shaping up. If it happens to be a major swing in favor of Dr. Becker, I could also be at that location as well. But as of right now, Adam, just chilling in here in the Broadway Grill and Tavern, waiting just about as everybody else is on.
And you mentioned, obviously, some pretty wild stuff earlier today with those text messages going out. I know you haven't been there all morning. You got there this afternoon, but were you able to see any of that reaction and how that the campaign party even felt when that was kind of going around?
Yeah, they hit back very quickly, and from an impartial standpoint, I can totally understand why. Because if it is election day and people are genuinely believing that your candidate is out of the race, that's going to hit you pretty hard. So the email started to roll in from the Fedorchak campaign almost right away, where their communications director was saying, you know, this is election tampering, this is not true, and then they went so far as to even hold a live press conference at 2:45, which our affiliates out here in Bismarck, K-Fire, picked up. And I believe we carried that live if our viewers were able to see that. So lots of indignation. Like I said, they mentioned Becker by name, and they said, I believe in their release, if I'm quoting exactly, this is not something that we wouldn't expect from Becker and his cronies, which is a pretty direct shot. But in that message that went out, it did say, don't vote for Julie, she's dropping out of the race. Pay attention to Rick Becker, who is, a patriot and somebody who should be representing North Dakota. So it does kind of come off like it might have been engineered by somebody who at least has some sort of affiliation to Dr. Becker. Of course, we can't speculate on anything as to the true nature of it, but a very, very interesting turn of events to come down on Election Day. And to wrap it up, and responding to your question, Adam, I definitely feel that there was a lot of, not going to say panic, but definitely a lot of vigor coming out of the Fedorchak campaign in responding to this and making sure that everybody knows that those text messages hold.
And just to provide the exact quote that you referenced there, this coming from campaign manager Sean Cleary at the end of his statement regarding the situation. It doesn't surprise anyone that Rick Becker and his friends need to resort to desperate tactics to try and interfere with the election and prop up a failing campaign. Some very strong words and quite a situation. Gabe, thank you so much for keeping us so well up to date, so well informed in your hard work down there. We will let you go and we know you have a lot more to do tonight. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us before we let you go?
I just want to make sure everybody who is catching this on Valley News now that you're going to want to start tuning in to the main broadcasts as well. I mean, you are doing great coverage with Everything Live, and we've got tons of different avenues to take all of this content in. But make sure that you're there for 6 o'clock, because we've got my colleague Bobby Fallett, who's going to be over with Kelly Armstrong's watch party, and that race is expected to be decided or at least announced earlier than any of the other ones. So that'll be a key thing to keep an eye on, the reaction coming out of that camp. And we're going to be here all through the rest of the evening, through the 9 and the 10 o'clock, while those results get finalized. So just make sure that you are keeping up with all of our live broadcasts, the 6, the 9, the 10, because this whole team has a lot of...
Absolutely. Thank you, Gabe, so much for your hard work. Keep up the good work down there, and good luck for the rest of the night. Make sure you drink some water. Stay hydrated. Good election coverage is all about good hydration. Have fun down there in Bismarck.
I will, Adam, and thank you for the time, by the way.
Anytime. See you next time. Thank you, Gabe. That is all we have for now on Valley News Now. Like Gabe said, check in on our regular broadcast. More coverage throughout the evening. For now, we will send it back